Good morning, listeners, and welcome to this week's episode of How to Succeed. We are your hosts, Gabriella and Lisa. And today's topic is how to excel at tests.
So when I was small, I always wondered if there was a certain strategy to taking a test, or was it only dependent on how smart or how much you studied? Well, today we are going to conduct an experiment that tests out this daunting question by seeing if people who learn the strategy to different types of test problems will do better on it.
To do this, we are going to educate 3 students named Shirley, Benjamin, and Alex on how to work through these different types of questions.
We are currently at Brookstead High School, and let me just tell you, I remember when I was in high school, always running around to my classes and whatnot. Well, here we are.
Good afternoon.
Hello, we are here to speak to Alex, Benjamin, and Shirley. Hello, Benjamin.
Hey guys, so what are we doing today?
Today we will be solving a mystery to see if a certain strategy to take a test actually helps. The first type of test question you will experience is multiple choice.
Like in standardized testing?
Yes, multiple choice is an SAT, ACT, AP test, and the regular tests your teacher will give you.
Now students, please take turns reading off instructions for how to do better on multiple choice questions.
First, we need to read all the questions carefully.
Next, we need to try to think about the answers before looking at the options and choices given. When you think of an answer and then pick your answer, you're more likely to get it correct.
We also need to read through all the choices. Even if we think one of them is correct, reading through all of them and eliminating each wrong answer will better ensure that we got the question right.
The process of elimination also applies to matching problems.
Yeah, so you should match what you know first, then go back and review the problems that you left blank.
Now we will go over what I find to be the hardest part of all tests, the short answer questions. These questions really come down to how well you know the material because you need to explain your answers. Alex, please read how to do better in short answer questions.
Since there are no choices given to you, the steps for the past 3 problem types don't apply to this. You need to write down what you do know first, and therefore you can receive partial credit even if the answer is wrong.
What about true or false questions?
For true or false questions, you must remember that for a statement to be true, it must entirely be true, and statements that include the words all, always, only, and never are often false.
Now let's move on to the methods of how to mentally prepare yourself. Can anyone raise their hand and tell me what are some methods that you can do in order to prepare yourself mentally? Yes, Shirley.
A good way to do well is to get enough sleep. We know that getting enough sleep is beneficial because it helps you relax and give you more energy to concentrate on your tests.
Additionally, you can take deep breaths, close your eyes, and flex out all your muscles.
Spend the most time on the questions worth the most points.
Skim the entire test before beginning.
Wait for the teacher to review the directions. Do not begin without thoroughly reviewing all test questions.
Okay, that's great. Now you guys know everything you need to take a test on what you guys have been reading in class for the past 3 weeks.
Before the students take the test, we remind them to use and apply all the tips we gave them to excel on their test.
Students, pencils down, hand all the tests in. A week after the teacher had graded the tests, we looked at their average test scores and compared it to the most recent test score, where all the strategies were hopefully applied.
Benjamin's test average was an 81.5% and he got an 86. Successful test number 1. Shirley's test average was 73% and she got a 92%. Wow, that's impressive! And Alex's test average was 93% and he got a 94%. At least it's a 1-point difference.
These results show that knowing proper test-taking strategy is most likely helpful to improving test scores, and although actually knowing the material is a crucial part, students need to know the method behind good test-taking strategies. Make sure to tune in to next week's episode of How to Succeed.